That's new. All right. Cool. So we're going to do today's demo, and let's start by welcoming the 2 new members of the team. So Ish, welcome to the team, and Farah, you have been here for, what was it, 1 and 3 weeks, and it also shows like the big change that the team has done on the dynamics and how we improve with you here. So yeah, thank you for being here. Right. So the next is reminding us why we are here, and we have a new mission that we developed with the team. So the team's mission is that we make the Stacks blockchain accessible to everyone. And the way we're doing it during Q2 is well, we have a bunch of goals. Probably the most relevant at the moment is that the wallets are out in the Chrome and Firefox stores. So that's a huge milestone for the team. And then we're working on different things. At the moment, and during probably this week, we are going to release the new version of the web wallet, of the desktop wallet, and also we're going to work on some technical debt. Now, the past iteration has been freaking fantastic. We have achieved a bunch of things. So we are going to go through most of them. First, we're going to talk around the improvements on the desktop wallet, then the web wallet, and some design things that we have been working on. So as always, Karen, would you like to start?
Sure.
Yeah, let me stop sharing.
Yeah, so these are the changes that Jasper and Eugenia designed. There was a lot of confusion with the initial flows, lots of feedback from users going into details, just people getting confused, basically. So the updated designs describe the benefits and the stacking options a lot better. All of the copy has been redone to sort of address some of the confusion. Previously, we had each sort of action was a separate sort of form in its own right. That's sort of been removed, and now it's just a single form that updates automatically and sort of tries to talk through all of the various like actions you need to like information you have to enter. For the so one thing that came up a little while ago is people trying to, I mean, even just internally for us, sort of review the stack by yourself flow, and that's not possible if you don't have the minimum, which can be a lot. So little Easter egg, if you press and hold the Alt key, that will enable the stack by yourself button, so you can get into this flow and just check it out. Same thing here. We've sort of yeah, now works very similarly to the pooling flow as well. One of the most important things here is simply that we've added information about the buffer. So if, yeah, I need to put in the exact number, but let's say I put in some huge number, it will then show how much over the sort of yeah, minimum you are, so that you can sort of try and yeah, sort of make a calculated decision of how much to stack. Yeah, that's it.
Nice.
Cool. Thank you. Yeah, and so one of the goals of making this change was to decrease the amount of support issues that we have. So hopefully this would make the UX better, and Gina is going to work less in replying to people. Right. So Thomas, you're next.
Okay, let me just share my screen. It's gonna be a large display too, sorry. And you can zoom in if you want, if you hit the view options at the top. But okay, so there's a lot of changes that I'm gonna demo for the web wallet. Let's do the first one. Will be I did some initial support for names. So you can see here that all.btc is showing up. And then also other names kind of show up too. Yeah, so that's something, you know, in preparation for the .btc app launch, I wanted to just, it was something I just did in my free time. Next up, I will demo. I added also some kind of UI improvements, added the empty states with some illustrations that Ginny has done. I think they look really great. Also kind of updated this main sort of interactive part on the wallet. So now you can kind of see all of your recent activity, and then additionally sort of collection of tokens or assets, NFTs and stuff here. Switch over and demo the new kind of view for the transaction screen. So this is kind of starting the work that Jasper's been working on for a long time, where it's kind of improving the display of post conditions and the just overview of what kind of data is being passed in for various functions and arguments. So you can kind of see this is part of the demo app. So it's unrealistic in the sense that it's every single kind of argument you can pass in, but super helpful for testing. Another feature that was also contributed by Marvin was attachment support. And so attachments are a way of adding some kind of arbitrary data to function calls. Really useful in the context of BNS, because when you register a name, ideally you'll also be kind of updating the zone file. And the way that that works is you add an attachment. So you can kind of see down here that it's at the bottom here. Also added this little feature where you can switch right in line. So each kind of transaction has a new display. So that's a contract call. Here is a token transfer, where it kind of has the same overview. Here's an NFT with post conditions. So you can kind of see it's a little bit different. This is an example of a BNS transaction. And then also we have contract deploy, which is got a big improvement. So you can see this typically with contract deploy, you don't have post conditions. So no transfers happen other than the fee. Shows the kind of overview, the name, address, and then additionally an improved kind of code preview. And then I can also demo, I did a bunch of work for, let's see, the SIP10 fungible token standard is now supported pretty much fully in the wallet. And that means, this is a token here called Stella token that conforms to the standard, so implements the trait. This means you're able to select the token. It fetches the data for the decimals, the symbol, and the name, and kind of uses that when you want to construct transactions. And so it's aware of this token has 8 decimal places, so you can create kind of any amount and send them. Just do a quick example. Send. And then this also kind of takes that same sort of display that you saw on the transaction page. Yeah, and then that submits, automatically switches to the activity view, and then it'll show up here. Yeah, that's everything.
This is great. Also, you did my demo too.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You already built it. No, I got some.
Yeah, and that's exactly what needs to happen, right?
Yeah. So first up, we have the Authenticator choice. And what Authenticator choice is this tweet explains it pretty well, where you kind of establish a channel between your wallet and a browser or another device. And it can be any wallet. And why that's important is 2 reasons. One, for instance, on Safari, we don't have the Stacks wallet for web, so you would not be able to use any Stacks apps, and same for mobile. Secondly, we now kind of have a monopoly on web wallets, and we all know monopolies are bad for consumers, so we want other wallets to have a chance as well and get some competition going. So how it would work is on desktop, for example, you would click connect your wallet, and then there's this new library that presents a choice to the user to either go with a browser extension or with a mobile app. The browser extension, that would lead to ours because there's only one. For mobile, it will prompt you to scan the QR code with your mobile wallet. So you could use a mobile wallet like Xverse with an app on your computer. And then if you go and sign a transaction on the web, it would give you a notification on your phone and you just confirm on your phone. And then here's some more states where we can tell if they don't have the extension installed. We can prompt with an install button, or if they're on Safari, for example, we can say it's only on Chrome and Firefox. On mobile, on Android, for example, if you would click connect your wallet, we obviously wouldn't prompt them to use the extension because it's not on mobile. Instead, we would, on Android, show the list of all Stacks wallets they have installed, and then they would choose whichever one they wanted to use with that app. And then you gotta get a prompt in your mobile app to confirm. Same on desktop, by the way. If you scan the QR code, you'll get a prompt on your mobile wallet to confirm or deny the connection. iOS, it's similar. You choose the wallet and connect it. So pretty simple UI, but very powerful. And then, yeah, I had some stuff for the transaction signing, but Thomas already demoed it, so I'm just gonna leave that. So onto the design system. Design system has always been kind of an unrecognized product of ours, where Thomas and I work on it, but we don't really work on it and we don't really make time. And as a result, it's always been out of sync, where because I update it quite frequently, but the devs, they don't really get the time to update it, and it's hard to communicate what updates to make, etc. So we end up just not doing it. So Thomas and I, we have been working on a better system on how we can pass updates to the design system from Figma to them and have them implemented automatically. And how we do it is via JSON, where we have a JSON bin. And I have that key in Figma as well in this nice plugin. And then if I make an update, I can update the JSON, save an update. It would update in the JSON bin, and that just gets pulled automatically. So if I change this value, then it will get updated. And then we have all our tokens in here. Let's say we take the light theme. We got background, surface, primary, all colors. And then we got some base tokens for like border radius and box shadow, and all typography styles are all in there. Font families, like anything you can make a token of. And here's how it looks in JSON. And then there are a couple layers to it, which you see here on the top. We got the base, where for colors, for example, it just references the hex. So we define like gray 100 is this hex. And then if we go into a particular theme, we have semantic tokens, where we can say a border takes on slate 300, and we reference that first layer. So if we update slate 300 here, it will propagate automatically. And then same goes for the type and everything else. Another cool thing is that you can switch theme. So automatically in Figma, because they all share the same name, like surface hovered in dark takes on references this token, and in light it references this token. So basically we'll never have to design for dark mode again. We'll just do it in light, and then if we want to check how it looks in dark mode, we toggle it on. That's it.
This is great. Thank you, Jasper. Right.
Yeah.
And last but not least, we have Farah. So yeah.
I'm sure Muslim. Okay, so basically what I worked on, the onboarding screens, basically we're just pushing the contents to the top and bottom, both the full page screen and in the pop-up. So now if we go to the next screen, it's just been centered basically on the full screen version, but in the pop-up, it actually still, it will align to the top. So the continue button used to be pushed way to the bottom. And so if I go through all of the sequence, it's all centered now. This was all the done button, for instance, was pushed to the bottom and the contents were really spread out. So that's all been fixed. And then the other thing that I worked on so before there was no ability to detect if a user had canceled a transaction request. Let me get the console up here. And so now when the user cancels the transaction, there's actually, when the promise is rejected, an on cancel callback function is returned. And so there's some feedback in the console that the transaction request has been canceled. And so that has been added. And then that also has been added to the authentication request also.
Yeah, this is a long feature that has been like asked for a long time. It's really useful in like apps, you know, when you like want to show some kind of loading indication. Previously, it was impossible to do.
Yeah, thank you, Farah. Okay, so thank you very much. This demo has been amazing. Let me stop the recording.